I don't. Kel, would you like to make the appropriate noise for the start of the podcast?
Toot toot toot.
That's great. Right, so welcome back to the Rob and Kel podcast episode. What episode is it now? Six. Are we on
Six.
Oh my god, I can't believe it. I can't believe nobody's listened to 6 hours of us talking what is essentially on the phone.
It's a great phone, though.
Have you tweaked your mic?
I pulled it further away from my face.
You sound more beautiful. Anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
So is that better?
Yeah, go on then.
All right, okay, so I think as usual we should start
It does sound like...
Oh my god, you're a dickhead.
Oh! Right, go on, for reals now. Off you pop.
Okay. So first of all, we should start off with our random shout-outs of the last episode. So big shout-out to John Leonard.
Big shout-out to Big Jono, who's
Yeah, I just
doing boxing.
Yeah,
he's doing it. He's a boxer now, you know.
Apparently he's doing quite well.
You can't say anything bad against Ward Jono.
I wouldn't anyway. I was quite good mates with him at school. Barely seen the kids since.
John, yeah. Well, that's it. It's one of the people that went to school, no longer went to school, no longer seen them.
Yeah, like he's not one of the people that you would actually see out and about on occasion. It's just like
well, yeah, we used to play out. Used to play out in Whitley Bay with them, man.
Yeah, but I meant like once school finished, you know, when we used to go out on the piss and stuff, you would still bump into people.
Yeah, he's one of those people that you have one random thing you remember. Like one thing, a random fact I remember of John Leonard, he might be able to confirm this, is that he used to make his bed very neatly.
How do you know that?
I don't know. I think one time he told us, like, he used to, I think one time, I don't know, maybe it's something to do with that, because I'm sure he used to quite like army things, or being in the army or something. I don't know. And I used to like, oh, maybe that was just a rumor. I don't know. I honestly don't know.
That's the worst rumor that we could come up with for John Leonard. He used to make his bed really fucking tidy.
My shout out was for Emma Foskett, which is last called to Emma Foskett, obviously, who went to Camp Wildfire, which was a big camp I went to this year, and it was not this year, last year, back when the world was regular, and it was amazing. It was amazing. Look it up if you. I'm not gonna do an advert for it, but I'm gonna do an advert for it.
Did.
So, yeah, so look it up. It's good. But hello, Emma. Hope you're doing all right. I see your posts on. That was it. I didn't really have anything to say. Really, I just saw on my newsfeed. So hello.
Oh, okay. So that.
Have you seen anything interesting on Facebook lately?
Well, I wanted to start off with a Facebook thing, going back to polarizing TV and whatnot. I see it's just been announced that Ricky Gervais is confirmed for season 3 of Afterlife.
Oh yeah. Am I gonna have to do another review video? Shit.
Yeah. Get it done. Get her done.
The thing is, I don't know if he said he's gonna do it, but Ricky Gervais has very, very sternly said that 2 series and a special is enough, and that's what he stuck to in The Office and Extras and Derek. I don't know if Derek has specials yet, but I think he's mentioned them. I don't know. I didn't really watch Derek. Well, I did watch it, but it was not very good.
Oh, scathing. So basically what you're saying is you like Ricky Gervais' stand-up, you like Ricky Gervais, you just don't like his TV programs.
No, I like Ricky Gervais because I like that he came from nothing. Everyone famous. If you turn on your telly today, listener, everyone on that telly has got a famous mom or a famous dad or a rich mom or someone who runs a bank for a father. It's all nepotism. I remember my parents used to say to us when I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor.
And they went, sorry son, we don't know anybody and we're not rich, you fucked.
I didn't get it at the time, but it was just kind of like, well, people like us, we don't end up in Hollywood. And that was their simple way of saying that, you know what I mean? You just know, you don't get...
There's a careful way of shattering your dreams.
It was, but what they're trying to say is there's plenty of Leona Lewises in Liverpool, in a rough part of Liverpool. I don't know why it's in Liverpool, but random. They'll never be heard because they're not from money. They don't have a famous dad or famous mom or money or can go to RADA or any of these schools. They'll never be heard. But they're there and they're 10 times better than whoever you can mention. I mean, obviously, again, it is rare. That talent is rare and stuff. But like I say, if you're not from someone or something or money, then you're fucked. I get it now. Sorry to depress everybody.
Oh, well, that's it. I'm ending the podcast right there, and I'm going to go to bed. Fuck it.
What were we even talking about originally there?
Ricky Gervais's Afterlife.
Oh yeah,
Facebook.
So anyway,
anything interesting on Facebook?
I'll finish that now as a point. That's why I like Ricky Gervais. He came from nothing, and he is good. The Office was good. I like The Office.
Office was great.
I like his. I think he's very funny. His timing is impeccable. He's one of the funniest people out there.
His timing and his facial expression. I always think he can say so much without saying anything at all.
The Office and Extras, he was trying. He was really trying because they were his first two major things.
Yeah, I've just started rewatching Extras actually.
It really is good. There is a lot of effort in the Extras actually. The Office was quite minimal, but the effort is there in terms of the effort you can tell they're putting in the performance of comedy. The effort's there in Extras. And then from that, it's like Derek was a character he used to do little videos of ages ago.
In his bath making the funny faces.
But it was a piss take. It wasn't endearing and I'm doing this because he loves animals and I want people to see his inner beauty even though he doesn't talk right. No, it wasn't. And then when it hit Derek, that's when it changed because he didn't write with Steve Merchant and it just became very schmaltzy. I don't know, all this faux emotional stuff.
You're not doing a very good job of convincing the world that you actually like Rich.
The thing is, it's the biggest form of flattery because I do like him. I'm so opinionated on his bad stuff because I like him.
Yeah, so Ricky, get your finger out. All right.
Get your finger out on your next
project. Let's go back to the old basics.
He's just got lazier and lazier. That's my whole point. And then lazier still going from Afterlife 1 to 2. And then if he accepts 3, and if there is a 3, then you know he's gone over that point because he said he wouldn't do more than 2 series and some specials. So if he does series 3, it's just money and laziness, and that's
hopefully he's just agreed to a special.
Well, that's his format, so we'll see, but I don't know. Where did that come from anyway?
That's his format. Oh, actually, no, wait, I do have one other bit of Facebook news.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to look now while you're doing it.
I was a little bit surprised the other day to see that Sylvester Stallone has said they're making Demolition Man 2.
Oh, now that would be a good film.
Well... depends though, doesn't it? I mean, which way is it going to go? You know, because obviously Wesley Snipes made the original. He was fucking brilliant. Yeah. But spoiler it, he gets killed at the end. So they've only got a couple of options. Go down the totally ridiculous route of, oh, we cloned him while he was in prison and here he is again, raw. Or did they go down the prequel route? Or Wesley Snipes isn't involved whatsoever and it's a totally different plotline. Send your answers in on a self-addressed postcard.
Well, you can't... Sylvester Stallone can't be the lead because he looks like he's made of melted plasticine.
Will be, man. He's the lead. He's done loads of stuff recently where he's still the lead.
Yeah, I know. Have you seen his fucking face? Like, I don't understand. Jackie Stallone is his thing. You remember when Jackie Stallone went in Big Brother?
Yeah.
And her face looked like she'd fucking...
But his is going the same way. I think he looks worse when he dyes his hair. I think he should just leave his hair grey and accept his fate. But anyway,
there's a few celebrities like that look weird as fuck now.
But seriously, what do you think they're gonna do? I mean, what do you think is the best plan of action? The Sylvester Stallone and his Demolition Man 2 crew.
The best plan of action, different fucking date. That is the best plan of action.
Oh, but yeah, probably.
Make something new. Jojo Rabbit, I saw that recently. I know it's not new because it's based on World War II, but it's new in terms of a script and a story. Fucking incredible. Taika Waititi.
Oh, Taika Waititi.
Yeah, fucking incredible film.
See, apparently he's just been signed up to do the new Star Wars.
Yeah, I saw that. Instantly worried.
I'm instantly worried. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think he's great. I think the stuff he does is really good. It's really funny. I just would never pair him off with the Star Wars.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I never pair off the fucking guys from Game of Thrones with Star Wars, but they ruined the last series and ran away to do it. Yeah, I don't really have any new Facebook news feed things, but in relation to what we've just talked about, i.e., celebrities, not Sylvester Stallone, by the way, because I'm not sure I can say the name, but I heard a story about a celebrity. I don't know if I can say this. Right?
Well, say it and then I'll tell you, and then we can cut it out.
No, I'm not going to say the name because it's horrendous.
I didn't cut it out.
It's
all right. Okay, carry on.
Just don't say that again in case I need to Believe it. A friend of mine, I've got to be very careful here. If you listen to the podcast, this is an exclusive. A friend of mine says that celebrity was in a restaurant, and is this a thing that happens often?
Uh-huh.
So they're sitting in a restaurant, yeah? He's in a restaurant, he or she's in a restaurant, and so is this lady.
Okay.
Someone comes over at this lady and says, Mr. or Mrs. such and such, would like you to come up to their room immediately. And this is genuine. Bring us over a contract.
A non-disclosure.
Yeah, just to decide there and then. So someone comes over and says, I think he wants to shag you. Sign this contract. So she signs this he goes away. She comes up to this room and he's there. Not a single word is said. Fucks her in the arse without saying a word, and then she has to leave without saying a word.
Wow, and I bet she's over the moon too.
Well, wouldn't you be? I would be.
Yeah. Well, no, because I couldn't tell anybody and make any money off it.
What
And I'd just been
it's not mad, though.
shagged up the butt for nothing.
That seems shagged up the butt for nothing. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want that.
The plight of many, many women and men. The plight.
It's probably an urban legend. You know what it is? It's probably just somebody that looks like him.
No.
Get away with one here.
To validate that story, the person who I know, very reliable, and I know that their friend was a PA to that person.
Was a PA.
So I think it's genuine. I think it's a genuine.
Was a PA. Or is a
story. Is the PA.
Oh, that's all right.
Was the PA. Was the PA to them or whatever. Anyway, let's not get too forensic about it. I just want to know if you thought it was funny. But then it could fall.
Funny's probably not the word. It's fucking insane. But
it could fall in. Imagine that though. Listen, if the world was like that, I'd much prefer it. Here's
a contract, love. But
you're in Harvester. And you see his lass.
Harvester.
You send over your PA with a contract. My client over there really, really wants to bum you. Without saying a word. Are you interested? Right here.
And crack on. Room number 4, please.
Imagine that, though. I mean, it would be mint, like.
Well, at least you'd have everything in writing where people are saying they agree to it.
Now, listen, we'll never mention his name or her name again after this, so don't write it in the comments, Cal. In case. Okay. Just in case, I lose my shoes due to libel suits. But, though, because people will ask about that. Fucking hell, did you see how many people fucking chatted on our last comment thing?
Oh, there was lots of comments. All of 3 people.
Yeah, so there was Laura Johnson,
Laura Davidson.
Laura Davidson. There was
James Chesterton.
Lucy Fenneville,
Lucy Nicholson.
Chesterton.
Nicholas.
You, me. Was there somebody else? It's Laura Sensible Knickers. Her name is on Facebook. And who else? Anyone else?
Kelly.
Oh, let's Kelly fucking Olds or Brammers or Bramley. Whatever you want to call yourself, always be Brammers for me. We'll have to tag all these again, then they'll start another chat again. So let's say something controversial about them again. There's a couple of things I want to say.
I can't believe Laura doesn't remember the spider. That's first and foremost.
Well, firstly, if she's not bothered, then she won't. But we were obviously terrified. That's why you remember.
True.
But it was true that what you said, a mom Jedi mind trained her to not be scared of spiders. Which I think is a little bit of a weird thing to do. So brilliant. I'm questioning that parenting skills.
Well, I'm sure she would never have put Laura in any danger. If it had been a Black Widow, I'm sure she would have told her to keep well away.
I mean, who else said some ludicrous stuff on that thread? I'll bloody tell you in a minute. Lucy Annabelle Rowe, or Nixon, whatever the fuck
Nixon.
Name is. I'm not reading it live. Who else fucking pissed us off on that message thing? Oh, I don't know. It's funny. I think Kelly was just using the thread as an opportunity to tell you to tell me to answer a message. Anyway, listen, if you're going to comment on this video, fucking make sure, 1, it's funny, and 2, it's factual.
Oh, wow, pressure.
Well,
Any comments are welcome, of any kind.
Here is what I found.
She just wakes up on her own.
Here is what I found. If you take them to the room, sign an NDA.
You can do what you like.
I'm glad to see your sister listen, by the way. Mrs. Elaine Clennell, or Miss Elaine Clennell.
Yeah. She loves it, man. Loves them all. She is listener
Don't
of
say
the
that
month.
about your sister, dude. Jeez,
Listener of the
fucking hell.
month.
Me sister, she loves them, man. She loves them all.
The podcast.
Yeah, she looks exactly like you, your sister.
Oh, don't tell her that. She'll be livid. We pull a lot of the same unimpressed faces.
You do, actually. You've both got that Italian look, which always used to, one, irritate the fuck out of me as a kid, being a fucking pasty ginger kid. But, like, your mum and dad, your dad is this mustachioed, normal-looking guy, and your mum is just a lovely little mum. None of them look like fucking Mario or Sylvester Stallone, and that you and Elaine, unless you, hang on, I haven't seen you.
You're not met the postman Luigi.
No, you postman Manuel.
Puerto Rican.
Something's going on there. I might actually have a word with Jan and Steve about this.
But if it happened, I don't imagine my dad will know.
Probably not. You probably won't be bothered at this stage. I don't know. Oh, because she pretends she likes kale as well. Nobody likes kale. Elaine, you don't like kale.
She has to keep telling herself that she does so she can eat.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's self-fucking-convincement.
Convincement?
Nobody likes kale. That's like saying, oh, I love licking poo. Or my shoes or the pavement. It tastes of shit.
Wow, shit the bed. I know you probably couldn't give a shit, but did you see how much weight Adele has lost? I just passed that little news story. She's lost like 7 stone.
Is she?
Yeah, man, she's like proper slim.
7 stone? How much? From what to what?
Well, I don't know from what to what, but I would take a punt if she's what she looks like now. She's probably gone from about 15 to 8.
Stop Googling things.
I'm not
quieter when you're Googling things.
I'm not Googling anything.
Alright, I thought you were looking at it. Oh no, I was.
Oh, well, it's your fault.
What else have I listened to or seen this week? Not really. I listened to the Adam and Norm podcast. Very entertaining, boys. Again, I don't know if you're listening.
Have we been mentioned yet?
No, not yet. I'm fucking furious about it. So
Adam, Norm, sort it out.
Yeah, if they're not listening though, they'll never. So I guess they'll never hear this. But they keep liking the posts. But I don't know. I don't think that means they're listening. Probably not. It's rubbish.
I probably haven't listened to anything at all.
Yeah, no.
Sad.
We'll tag them in anyway, because we're very kind people, let me be honest. Honestly, it is good. They know what they're doing. They've got it on all the platforms. Our thumbnail's done on Microsoft Paint. You can see where the differential is.
What about Nicolas Cage, man? Nicolas Cage as Joe Exotic.
Oh, I did see that, yes. The thing is, someone did a little Photoshop of it. He actually looks a bit like him anyway, to be honest.
Really? Really?
What? Joe Exotic? Yeah? Think about Nicolas Cage now, right? You're thinking about him in Con Air. Think about him now, man. He's like...
If anything, he looks more like him in Con Air than he does now.
He's old, bald, bit of a mullet, because it's only the back of his hair. Put a mustache on the Cage Meister, and you have got Joe Exotic, like.
Yeah, I suppose, but, like, hasn't made anything good recently.
Well, no, he made that film...
Oh, yeah, that film.
No, he made fucking The Colour of Night or something, the sci-fi one. He also made Mandy. That was really good recently. He's done a few good little indie films. Oh, if you've not seen Mandy, it's a definite recommended watch. Like,
have you watched anything good this week?
Well, I've seen a couple of things, actually, I want to talk about.
Do it, Doug.
The Richard Herring Leicester... What? The Richard Herring Leicester Square... Is it Leicester Square? Or
Leicester.
The Leicester Square podcast, or Relustipa, as he calls it in the podcast. Limmy's on it, Brian Limond, mint comedian. Watch that, so you should watch that. It's kind of good.
Okay.
And it's not something I've really watched, but it's something I've played this week. This is one for the nerdlingers, because I know there's a few nerds out there. I played Half-Life Alyx.
Oh, yes. And
yeah, which is good.
To start, how long have you played for?
To start, it's It's VR. So I've got a HTC Vive. I mean, it's the original now. There's ones out that look about 20 times better than this now in terms of screen.
Yep.
In my wildest dreams, imagine what it looks like on a Valve Index or one of the newer ones. But holy shit, it is one of the best games or gaming experiences I think I've ever had. It's literally like VR is amazing anyway, and it's hard to describe to people that haven't played it.
But bearing in mind you were worried about this game, you thought it might be pants.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and it's a lot. It's like 50 notes, man. I mean, again, it's a fully fledged game. It's only 10 hours or so. That's long for VR though. In terms of how long you can be in there at a time. It's incredible. It's like it's the closest thing to like being this lead hero in a movie. That's honestly all I can say about it. And it looks incredible. I can't sing its praises enough. It's amazing.
Wow.
That's what I'll play this week. But I need you to come round because I literally just want to watch you play it.
That sounds so.
Yeah, I know, but
I just want to watch you play it.
It's so mind blowing. It's kind of like I want to see your reaction. Like I watched Jacksepticeye, who I'll tag in this, who play like the second biggest YouTuber on earth. You probably notice. I'll tag him in it, and he play. And I just watched him do the full playthrough in bits over the course of like this week, kind of at the same level as I was doing it. And just watch him react to all the big set pieces. Honestly, it's incredible. And VR is incredible anyway. I'm gonna buy a Valve Index. I think it honestly makes me want to do that. Anyway, I'll probably cut a lot of this out to be honest, because it's just nerd gushing over it. But great, amazing, and I need you to come round just so I can sit and watch you play it.
Sit and watch me play with myself,
like a live Twitch stream.
Twitch. Yeah, I will do that.
I'm sure I have seen other things this week. I saw a film called 1BR.
What?
I think it stands for One Bedroom. It's a thriller about a lass that moves to LA, and they're building apartment complex as a cult. But it's quite. It reminds me of Hereditary. It's quite horrific. The thing.
Is that on somewhere, or has that been downloaded? Because my missus would love that.
I don't know. I don't know.
Did you see that thing? The 5-year-old kid that he asked his mum if he could have a Lamborghini, right? And she said no. So he just casually climbs inside his SUV and starts driving for miles to find somewhere he can buy a Lamborghini with $3.
I'd give him at me. If I owned that dealership, I'd be like, how old is it? How old is the kid?
He's 5. It's like he gets stopped by the police. It's like, did his mum not think, I should probably stop him? Nah, he'd be all right.
If I was the police, I would be like, if he managed to get there, not murder anyone, then just, you little scamp, give him a little twist of his hair and send him on his way.
I apparently got given a Hot Wheels Lambo as a consolation gift.
Ah.
Yeah, so he got one.
So he got given a toy car for stealing a real car.
Yeah. Well, I better try that out. And I was going to ask you as well, have you seen any of Mandalorian?
Nah. Have you seen it
Nah, just a bit. Because, I wasn't that bothered.
Buchanan has seen it.
I wasn't that bothered about watching it, but obviously because of all the shit that's going on and trying to find stuff to watch, I'm curious if it's worth starting. Because I'm running out of things to watch.
That's it, and that's why I don't want to start it, because I'm so behind on Star Wars. I mean, I like Star Wars again, but I just like it. So I'm so behind on I wouldn't know what planet Naboo was, or who's that from, or what commander's in charge of the Imperial Council of Fleet. You know what I mean? I couldn't.
I mean, does it matter? Because it's set well before everything, is it not?
Well, probably, yeah. I don't know. I'm not yeah, there's Baby Yoda, yeah. I'm just not very excited when I see Baby Yoda, as 99% of people are, which is obviously an incredibly contrived thing to make cute toys. Of
course it is. It's Disney, though, isn't it?
Sorry, did you ask me if I'd seen it, or if I was going a 15-minute hate rant about it?
I tell you something else I watched. We only started watching it either yesterday or the day before, and it gets panned on IMDb, but on Sky there's a program called Code 404. Have you seen any of that? Basically what happens is these two coppers, one of them gets killed.
Oh, no.
And then like it flashes to 1 year later, and the
Yeah.
other one that didn't get killed is now in a relationship with the dead one's wife.
What?
Yeah, but the dead one all of a sudden comes back to life, but he's been augmented.
Oh, wait, you've lost me there. There you go. That was the line. You hit the line.
Yeah, this is what I mean. It sounds terrible, but what you got to bear in mind is it's like a wacky program. It's like if you think of like Drop the Dead Donkey.
I might give them a watch.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I did watch though not long ago, which I mildly enjoyed, which also got panned on IMDb. I can't remember what it's called. It's on like Discovery or History or something, and it's the Curse of Skinwalker Ranch. Have you heard of that?
Is it factual or is it bullshit?
Yeah, no, it's factual. I mean, I've heard it. Well,
Curse
it's this Skinwalker Ranch. Skinwalker Ranch is a very famous ranch in America that's apparently on this like cursed Indian burial ground.
Everything in America's on a cursed Indian burial ground.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, that's... Oh, yeah. But anyway, it's about portals to things and beings and wolves, and it's got a very interesting books written about it. A billionaire bought it and set cameras everywhere because it was so renowned to try and catch these things. Anyway, I've been watching that. On IMDb, it gets absolutely panned, but I'm a lunatic, so I like it. And it's just the introduction to the ranch and investigating. It's Americanized, though. It's all, oh my god. After the break, Charles has a headache. Call 911. It's all that. It's all of that.
Love it.
Yeah, when he's got like a slight... In England, it'd be like, Charles had a headache. Yeah, I've got a headache, guys. I'm just going to have an Anadin.
I'm just going to go and lie down.
I'm just going to have a slight lie down. That would be the English version of it, but it's always the same. It's a bit like... Have you ever seen the comparison of the exact same episode of one of Gordon Ramsay's, I think it's one of his Kitchen Nightmares programs? Have you ever... and it shows you the comparison between the American and the English one.
No, I haven't. But
have you not seen it?
I've seen the program, so I get where you're going with it.
Well, in the English one, he was talking to this woman. He's shouting at her, but it's just Gordon Ramsay. And he says something like, about, I don't know, about
You're
bacon.
an idiot sandwich.
No, he says something about bacon, like baking. So he says like, you listen, you've got to understand this. You listen to me. Bake, bake, bake. That is the, this, and that's what he did. But in the American one, they beeped out the word bake. So it just kind of went, you gotta listen to me. Beep, beep, beep. Like he was swearing at her, like shouting at her. And I was like, no, he wasn't.
That's right. Bizarre. Just
it's
like
mad, isn't it?
Making him worse than he is, but making him more entertaining, I suppose.
And there's loads of whip pans and snap zooms around the camera and the frame and that. Beep, beep. After the break, can you believe what Gordon said? Well, no, because he didn't fucking say that.
You're an idiot sandwich.
He said the word bake 3 times. But yeah, so they've got to do that. They've got to make it exciting, and I can't stand that about it.
Are you going to give that Space Force a watch? You haven't heard of it, have you?
No.
God, you used to be so up on this shit. New program, Steve Carell coming to Netflix.
Oh.
Don't quite know what it's about,
I've
but
heard of it.
I think it's the same production crew as The American Office. Not that I like The American Office personally.
American Office, another prime example of kitchen nightmares. Fatigue there. Like, fatigue, I don't know why I said that word.
It's a good word though.
The English one, very subtle and fucking subdued, and that's what made
the American
it funny.
one just totally in your face, punching you.
Well, the American one made it in... The English one was meant to be a documentary. It was a mockumentary. The American one, although keeping the kind of camera angles sometimes for the first couple of seasons, it was just a sitcom.
Yeah, it's
with
just a sitcom.
Wacky characters. There was no wacky characters in The Office. David Brent was the wackiest character, and it was because he was a real,
Well, that's what made it so good. Is all of the characters were believable.
Very Ricky Gervais every episode. This will turn out to be.
That's why I love The Office, because at the time I worked in an office and I identified every single character in that program with one person that I worked with. I was Tim. My boss was David Brent.
Tim is the audience. Tim's the everyman. You're meant to be Tim. But in past offices, Christ almighty, I've had some Brents, I've had some Gareths, had some Keiths, had some Dawns.
You wish you'd had some Dawns.
Oh.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. So anyway,
like
I think it was... Oh.
Sorry, you,
we just talk at the same time. Right, go on. Beep. Take one. Take two.
you go.
All right. So we just had a small pause then, ladies and gentlemen. So listen. Let's just talk about some Facebook mentions, and we'll wrap it up after that. So before Facebook mentions, I notice we've probably got our first super fan, which I'm so pleased about.
Yes, I think we do.
And we do indeed. So I want to do a massive shout out to Ian Sartoria. Is that how you say his name? Sartoria?
Sartoria? Yeah, I believe
I
so.
thought it was Sartoria.
I'm sure if we're wrong, he'll let us know.
But yeah, he did. He made a lush comment on the last one saying, "This is meant dead funny," and that. Cheers. And share it round, man. Share it round. Tell everyone.
Spread the love.
The world. Spread the love. Have you got anyone you want to mention on Facebook?
Well, yeah, just the old, random shout out. For this week, I'm gonna go with Zoe Payne. So big shout out to Zoe there.
Zoe Panier. Hi Zoe, how you doing? Great, lad. She was on
Yeah, come down with me with Ricky from Geordie's Show.
No, wait, it wasn't Come Down With Me, was it? It was like
no, it was
date night
dinner date.
Celebrity dinner date. It was good, actually.
Yeah, it
It was
was.
good. I don't think she ended up going on the date. I think she got... Oh, did she? I don't
Yeah,
know.
she sat down. Oh, she didn't go on the final date, no.
That's what I mean, the
Because she
final date.
clearly hated him the second he walked in the door. Although she tried anyway.
He
Well done,
was a
Zoe.
fucking bellend, like.
So who's your shout out of the week?
You've got us on the spot again, man. Hang on. 2
Yeah,
seconds.
you really
Let me
need to
just-
start thinking about this stuff. Like, you know it's coming.
There's the man. I'm going to shout out to Mr. Zach Ainsley, who is a friend of mine on Facebook. I play poker with him. He keeps inviting me to play at his house, which is incredible, by the way. If you don't know who he is, you might know who he is. He's a, I don't know what you call it now. Bodybuilder, I guess. Is it? Do you say bodybuilder?
It's still a bodybuilder, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but is that what you call it? Because, like, loads of people,
I don't know. We'll tag Adam Golder. He'll tell us.
yeah, he's the fucking hell. They're both pros, like, but he's a professional bodybuilder.
Do it.
But I think that's just all I think that's what he does. And then he does magazines and that and adverts and stuff. Because he looks like he looks like, remember the figures of He-Man used to get in the 80s.
Oh, with the veins and the biceps and that.
Yeah, but also just like the shape of it. I mean,
Like he's
you see
allergic
now,
to
like
something.
the kid. Yes, man. Honestly, the shape of the kid is unbelievable. It's like he looks like a cartoon character. I mean, a shape I could only dream of having. Because I'm not in shape. I'm a shape. But I don't quite understand that culture anyway. I mean, what? And why do they all? Why? Maybe they both can answer this. But why do they always put like Ron Seal levels of fucking tan on?
I can only assume it reflects better, so your muscles look bigger.
Or maybe it's because the dark bits are going in between the bits. I'm just this is my expert opinion.
Dark bits between the bits.
Yeah, like the dark Ron Seal wood polish, whatever they're putting on, kind of goes in between the abs, and it makes them look.
Highlights them and accents them. Bit of shading.
I've figured it out. Yeah, I have absolutely sussed it. But it still looks ludicrous. I think it shouldn't have to look like a mahogany cabinet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Oh, you just sent me the list of people I've got to mention. Oh, but before we finish that, so yeah, Zach, on my shout out. Good luck with looking ripped.
Like a mahogany dining room table.
Couldn't keep it. I think that's harder than a job looking ripped, isn't it? Because the amount of work you got to do, that's probably harder than the hardest manual labour job you can think of. Just having to keep that up. You know what I mean? And just having to sniff cakes and that.
Sniff cakes.
Yeah, you just can't do it. Everyone's having a kebab and that, and you're having a fucking kale sandwich. It's just 2 bits of kale with kale in it. Yeah.
Fucking kale.
Can you imagine that, man? Fuck that shit. I'm not having that.
Yeah.
I'm not having that every day. Although, but then again, I'd like to look like that, but I can't do it. Oh, but listen, ladies and gentlemen, you are very, very privileged because we actually have a special guest. Not the special guest I've been promising for a couple of weeks.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice to know I'm a letdown.
It is the one and only Elton John. No, it's Matthew Reid. Matthew Reid, welcome to the show. Woo!
You told me it was going to be Elton John.
I know, but what can I do?
I think these already sound like empty promises to me, mate. I think you have to realise he's not got Elton John for you. I mean, I know everyone's bored, but I reckon he's got stuff to do.
Yeah, you'll have to see him in his trailer.
So, Matt, can I call you Matt? I mean, I feel
That's fine. That's fine.
Listen, for anyone I know that is listening, I know Matt through comedy. You know, I'm not exactly. We're not exactly bezies, so you know, I'm going to be asking him some questions, and don't be thinking
That sounded a little bit offensive.
What does it? Did it?
We're just acquaintances. Don't let anybody
Well, no.
tell you different.
Well, no, listen. Let me tell you a story. Right, I do a bit of stand up here and there, Very,
Well, stop.
Like comedy clubs, hopefully.
very rarely at the moment because I'm just so busy. But I walked past a comedian who I know, who you will know as well in town, giving out flyers. Not lately. This was before COVID. You know what, motherfucker? He clocked me. Walked straight past me. Swear to God, these.
That's fine, but who walked past you? Come on.
Well, I'm not telling you the name of him because I don't know. I think of all the Northeast comedians, he's probably the scariest. I think
The scariest.
Matthew might know who I'm talking about. He might be able to make an educated guess, but I won't admit who it is because I don't want him to.
Scariest. I can't think of a Northeast comic I couldn't knock the fuck out. So I'm not scared.
Oh!
Sit down.
Yes. I like that, man. So how long, Matthew, how long you been doing, Matthew, I sound like in Sunday school. Matt, how long you been doing comedy for then? Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself, like?
21 years.
Wow.
Yeah, started when I was but a lad at 19, and
Oh, yeah.
well, I started before it was cool. You know, I'm like the hipster comic. But it was a hobby. It was like nobody even assumed it was you could ever make a career out of it. When I started, it was just something to do, and then I started making money out of it, and I was like, ooh. And then loads of pricks cottoned on after Michael McIntyre started making people millions, and now I've got to wade through loads of shite to get gigs.
So have you been on? Now I'm just going off your little picture here. Well, have you been on Ready Steady Cook? That is my main question.
That was a pilot I filmed with Ainsley, who was a very, very funny man and a comedian back in the day before he became a celeb chef. He used to play the Comedy Store.
So you did a pilot with him though?
Yeah, I did a pilot. It was me, Sammy Dobson, and I think it was Jason Cook as well. We all did it. We went to Gosforth and we filmed in this house, which was absolutely astronomical. It was ridiculous. We had room in the kitchen, right, to film it. The film crew would be in, and you could walk into the corner and have a chat, and none of them would hear you. The room was that big. It was insane. And the family came in. They had about 842 kids, and they were just clotting about with the family for a bit. Me and the bands went to the garden, started playing footy. It was great. But he was great. He's a genuinely nice man.
Oh, so was that his house though?
It wasn't his house. No. That's the thing. Like these cookery shows, when you see them in the kitchen, it's not something. 90% of the time, it won't be their actual kitchen. It's just a set, or it's another really nice kitchen where they can get everything in.
All right.
Sorry to pull back the velvet curtain.
That's the illusion ruined.
Yeah, I mean, pointless having a velvet curtain in your kitchen; it will get greasy really quickly, really, wouldn't
it? Yeah, you have
ruined Ready curtain.
Steady Cook. Oh, I swear to God, Kel, I'll smash your face then.
What?
I thought, I'm not going to say a greasy curtain there, just as a joke, but I thought, someone's sorry, but it's to it. That's fine.
I tell you what, though, I would take a greasy curtain right now. Jesus Christ Almighty! This is getting beyond a joke. This, like, lads. However,
yeah. Well, we can't help you out. You know.
I was going to say, what do you want?
We don't have curtains.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm wearing jeans and a denim top. I mean, you're doing that's not.
Double denim.
Is that it? You've turned me on already.
It's not that kind.
No undershirt, no vest.
It's like I am literally the opposite of Babe Station. A heavily dressed, hairy man.
What is the opposite of Babe Station?
Sounds like me.
What's the name of that channel?
A hairy, denim-clad man.
Denim Fella Station.
Let's see if that exists.
I tell you what,
Denim Fella Station.
Feather. Denim feathers. Don't type that in a Google, dude. You get on a list.
Always trying to get on a list.
That would be the weirdest fucking list.
Oh fucking hell, my laugh, man. Honestly, do you realise? Just for people who are listening, we're doing a slightly different technique. We're using Skype now. Skype, what it does is when I'm quiet, it then turns up my laugh, so I can see me laugh clipping here in Audacity. Again, pulling back the greasy velvet red curtain there, but I'm having to manually reduce my volume I know this is not interesting to anyone, and you can hear me chair squeaking.
Yeah, to be fair, 90% of our audience, all 2 of them, are saying, Rob, I don't even know what fucking clipping is. What are you talking about?
I just want people to know that, listen, I know no one listens, but could you at least listen? Because it takes a little bit of,
effort.
doing. It takes effort to make.
That's the spirit, lads.
Rant over.
That's the spirit. This seemed like a wicked idea, though, in the first week of lockdown. I was like, oh my God, I've always wanted to do this.
So many ideas did. So many did.
Oh, I've done no decorating. I've done no self...
It's all right. Nobody can see it.
But the
It's like I've done no decorating. Well, it's not like your video on the podcast, is it?
That's really weird. I've done the majority of things everyone's done. I've baked. I made brownies. I've decorated.
What, decorated the house or the brownies?
Decorated, but both. My house has got marshmallows stuck to it and walnuts.
And there's gloss paint on your brownies.
Yeah, it's not working out, to be honest. Made a terrible error.
I've glossed me brownies. Fucking hell.
Better than glaze.
I thought you said colostomy brownies. What a horrible...
They're the best kind.
And I tell you what, in this current climate, both of those turn me on. I'm not even kidding.
Colostomy brownies.
That's the title.
And the fact that you're gagging for it.
Oh yeah, listen. Can I tell you 2 things I did on a very?
Don't know if I want to know.
No. Listen.
No, tell us one, and then we'll decide whether we want to hear the other one.
Yeah.
They're quite tame, but it was on. Listen, I'm not very good at Tinder and that. I don't know if you use Tinder.
But it's literally swipe left or right. That's it. It's not hardly.
I know. I know, Kel, you don't use Tinder unless you're sending off dick pics and that. Don't worry, I'll cut that out. I've used Tinder a few times, right? And I put 2 lasses off not last week, just before this all happened, the COVID. Yeah, 2, right?
Stud muffin.
Because I forget that, making a joke doesn't go over on a text very well, if you know what I mean. So the first lass, I was like, where'd you live? And she went, I've lived everywhere. I've lived in Indonesia, Turkey, China, Tokyo. And I just replied saying, all right, so you've been human trafficked. Never heard from her again.
That's brilliant.
The second one I was talking to, I was trying to make a joke that I was trying to do an impression. It's a long story, but I was trying to do an impression of Morgan Freeman. Yeah?
Yeah.
So what I went to say to her was, I'm trying to...
With your voice, yeah? You didn't
with my,
you didn't dress up, yeah?
With my voice. What I wanted to say to the girl was, I want to do a good Morgan Freeman for you. But what I actually said is, I want to do a good Bill Cosby for you.
Of all the accidental errors.
I think I'd been reading something online, and yeah. So she ghosted me, but I don't have very much luck on it, really. I met up with a psychopath. I met up with someone who literally wanted to fight me.
They're the best kind.
I went out with someone who had about 5 kids, and I called them baggage by mistake.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah.
I know you've got baggage, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
Oh, which actually brings me on to a very, very good point here. Now, I was looking at a few videos on Facebook. We usually do a Facebook review at the start of the podcast. Don't worry, I will edit all this so it makes sense. But I was looking at yours, Matt, actually. And, well, first of all, you've got a little video out, which you're struggling to fucking pimp. Is that right?
Well, there's the algorithms on social media are designed to make you feel bad unless you're willing to pay for it. I mean, I got hundreds of shares, and I got 800 views, and I was like, it would have been harder for me if that was the amount, and it was supposed to be seen by the people that shared it, and all of their friends the way I assumed it worked. Mm-hmm. It would be harder for me to do that, to not have them see it, than it would be for me to individually shout to 800 people to watch it. It doesn't make sense. But a lot of people who know what they're talking about have gotten in touch with us and gone, right, Facebook and stuff like that is notoriously tricky. And it was it's a comic who knows what he's talking about. Gary Delaney was talking about it. He says it's like you get 4% of organic views is like 4% of how many friends you've got. That's it.
Really?
Jesus, that's terrible.
I
knew it was bad, but I've never gone into the numbers like that. That is terrible.
Well, it used to be a lot higher, but then Facebook's looked at it and gone, what are we doing when we'd be getting, which they are, when we could be getting billions. So, I mean, you can't blame them. As a business model, giving shit away for free is rubbish.
Oh, and it's the same with YouTube as well, though. Like, I used to have quite not a successful YouTube channel, but I wanted to make a YouTube channel, and I didn't have any subscribers. So what I did is I thought, right, I'm going to create a viral video. So I planned it for a couple of weeks, and I knew that this magician was coming on America's Got Talent. I looked at the trick. I used to be a magician in hotels before, going on a stand-up and voiceovers, and then obviously moving back up here.
Did they know that you were hired? You were just going around in a top hat and a fucking
No, I was in the car park. They had no fucking idea. No, I did. I was hired. In fact, it wasn't even part of my job. I just used to get around doing a bit of magic and that. Because I was a sad cunt. So I did all the right tags, I put it on at the right time, used some cheeky algorithms on YouTube and managed. It's got 6.5 million views now on my channel, but it's the only video that's got a lot because it was an experiment to try and create a viral video. And basically what it ended up is that unless you're one of the big hitters, like a big YouTuber, or unless you've got some clout or you're verified and you can share it, it's a lot of work.
I saw Jason Manford was saying on his Facebook page the other day, saying he put a quiz up, got 20,000 people watching. He put songs up and bits of stand up, and he got 40,000 subscribers. And he says, I've decided to monetize it, and he got all that watching over a course of 2 weeks, and he made 39 quid.
That was worth the effort.
200,000 people watching, 39 quid.
Well, I'll tell you what, listen, sick brag, but mine's sitting there at about 6.5 million on YouTube, and I swear to God, I get about £12 a month. I'm not even kidding. It's shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Wait, that's the thing. It's not tailored to dish money out, is it?
It's also not tailored to just help people out. Like, I remember YouTube algorithm has changed a lot. It's changed to almost a Google style algorithm where whatever you search, it remembers you. Obviously, it does anyway, and it shows you like probably the top 10 pages you go on anyway, but it won't show you any ones that you've never been on or rarely visit. And YouTube's the same. So when you search now, you'll get like the top kind of 5 or 6 people you regularly watch, and all the others are buried on page 2. So anything like, say, for example, this, I mean, I'll get a bit of a boost because I've got, 14,000 subscribers there, which is nothing, but it's better than nothing, if you know what I mean. I'll get some boost, but it's impossible. If you wanted to start a YouTube now, it's impossible. It's like telly now. It's just like telly. It's as hard to get into YouTube now as it is to get in telly in the 80s when there was fucking 4 channels. It's impossible.
Yeah, there's and I mean, everyone in telly now is just watered down shite, isn't it?
It's just spread really thin, isn't it?
I mean, and some of the stuff that's coming out. I mean, like, I know, like, but that's the thing. Every time I start off on a rant, it's like I hold myself back because it's not fair for me to go, well, this is shite, because I'm not the target audience. Do you know what I mean? Like Naked Attraction, I think it's bottom feeder television, bottom feeder.
No pun intended.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, there's people who like it that are very intelligent and just like to switch off a minute. But like, I mean, I think the end of the world for me was Gogglebox. Well, I tell you, that's when I gave up on telly.
Watching people watching telly.
That was it. I thought, right, we're done. That's it. There's nothing else now. Like,
I'll tell you what though, I'll give it to Gogglebox. It's actually fucking. I hate reality TV. There's only one reality TV I'll watch, which is The Jungle, and I'll only watch that because I like to just see them be tortured for 15 minutes. That's it. Trial.
I just watched Saw or Hostel. I mean, it's snuff for cowards.
It'd be better in The Jungle if it was that, and they just went, there you go, you're in the Australian jungle, like the dangerous.
Honest reality stuff. It's given a platform to stuff that just it's constantly numbing you. I mean, I'm not pretending I'm not above this. You know, I'm not a better person than anyone that watches this, but I just watch it and I just think there's nothing left. There can't be anything left, or they're not looking in the right place. Because I mean, I think Celebrity Juice is one of the worst things that's ever happened to television. It is. It is absolute drivel. What are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna get cream on my face. Grow up.
I gotta admit, like, I'm not a fan. Like, I think it's. I mean, my sister thinks it's fucking wonderful.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. But that's why I look at it and I go, well, yeah, that's my problem. That's not this program's problem. It's me not liking that. That's fine. Because like, I like Billie Eilish. I mean, I do not see. I mean, I quite like that Bond theme. I think she's got a good voice. But I watch stuff like that and I just go, like, this is clearly dreadful, and it's not for me. But
it's for somebody else.
472 million likes.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, fair enough. I'm the minority here. Like, that's fine. So that's why I rarely complain about stuff. I'm like, just like, well, what if that's your thing. When I know something very well, like comedy,
Yeah.
and I watch bad comedy and people are laughing at it, and I'm going, right, well, no, I am educated and I know my comedy, and that is dreadful. Like Mrs. Brown's Boys, I would rather slam my cock in a car door than watch.
Yes, thank you. I thought I was the only person.
No, mate, you're not alone. But like again, the people watching it, like my grandma would, that was dead funny, and
exactly, Dan. That's what I was just about to say.
That's the audience. So, but that's why I don't like I don't like to slam anything bad enough. Like I mean, there's a lot of comics I don't like. There's a lot of really, really, really bad comedy doing really, really, really well on the circuit and on telly and just in general. And there's a lot of it down to money and who's paying to get where they need to be, which is fine. And that's the way it's always going to be. And
That's it.
You've got to seek out what you want. That's the problem with I think that's the problem with entertainment now. You look for what you want.
Oh, Matt, you've opened up a can of worms there, man. Let me just break that down a second before we carry on speaking about that. Firstly, who don't you like?
Oh, God, yes. I mean, I told you I was late in getting onto this, so I genuinely haven't got time, even if this was 4.5 hours long.
Okay.
And on top of that, I do share green rooms with some of them.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. Who don't you like? That's massive, or who don't you like? That's been a massive global star
and couldn't give a shit about your opinion.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't give a shit. Steve Coogan was at Edinburgh once.
Was he?
I'm sure he's lovely.
I can imagine that.
I met him once, and he was just like, and I was like, "Yeah, all right, mate, I'm a fan." And he was just like, and walked off. And went, but I mean, like, I'm sure he had that about. He was at the Edinburgh Festival in 2002, so I'm pretty sure he'd had that about 870 million times.
Yeah, I get.
But it still stays with you.
I guess it must be tiring, like, but yeah.
I've got anyone that was. I mean, there's been people that have been absolute pricks, but like then I've met them once and they've forgotten about it. And then being alright. There's one.
Who do you not like? That's in terms of comedy wise. Like, who do you just not like the material of? Don't like the style of something like that.
Well, I mean, I hear people. I'll not mention names. That's just suicidal. But there's the one thing I absolutely despise more than anything else is pretend wacky. I can't, like, Vic and Bob are wacky. That's how they live. That's how they. But someone coming on going, oh, look at me! I've got a knitted scarf. It's called Nigel. Oh, he's a badger. Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I've seen some comics like that at Red Raw a few times.
Oh yeah, but Red
they
Raw
always
is
go down a fucking storm. Like, I'll tell you that.
Red Raw in Newcastle is my favourite thing. It's like you can because the crowd it is false economy doing new material at Red Raw. Because you go on there, you go, hello, they get brilliant. How does he come up with this? I'm like, are you wearing shoes? And they get, oh, there's nothing getting past this man. He's amazing. And I love it. Like, because there's times I go and ask for a five at Red Raw or hang about in case anyone pulls out because it just reminds us why I still do this. It's a joy. It's an absolute joy, Red Raw.
The thing is about Red Raw, and I'm not going to diss them. The thing is about it is that it just takes too long to get. It's not if you. Maybe you could turn up because you're obviously very well known up there. You know, someone who's done it just a few times. Say like, mate, it's like 6 months fucking waiting.
Yeah, there's a lot of people wanting it, but there's a waiting list for the dropouts as well. So if I mean it does help. Obviously, if you're not local, it's a bit of a nightmare. But they're very fair as well. Because I mean, and I mean, there's people getting weekends there that aren't ready for it, but it's nice that they get the first weekend with them, you know. And you watch them crash and burn sometimes, and you watch them really grow. It's an impressive. I mean, the stand I started out. Well, I think my third ever gig was up in the Edinburgh stand. It was beautiful. The green room used to be another gig. You used to be in there, and it was only like 20 people could fit in. You just go up, and I used to do Red Raw up there a lot of times. So we used to. There's a lad called Teddy. I don't think he does it anymore. He was a wonderful friend. And we used to do something called Walkout Wednesdays, where we used to do all of the most offensive stuff you could think of.
Oh yeah, see, that sounds great.
I used to be in a double act years and years ago, and we used to sing these really offensive songs. We'll go up there and do that. It was brilliant. It was so good. And then off the back of that, though, we got weekends with them, which I mean, a lot of clubs. That used to be how it worked, though. See, you used to go there, you used to smash it, and you used to get weekends, and that's how I got a career comic, because I used to go there, be funny, and then go, he's funny, let's put him back on, rather than like oh, he's with this agency, we best get him on.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Because I slept the first time when I started in '99, and then I started getting open spots and off the curb notices because I did a Leeds festival because Toby Foster couldn't do it, so he asked me if I could do it, and I went and I had an absolute. It was one of the best gigs. It's still to this day one of the best gigs I never remember having. I got all the way off the back of it. I'd already done 3 open spots for the Glee where I'd had to sleep rough because I slept rough. They didn't. That wasn't them going, well, yeah, if you sleep rough, we'll give you a gig. I mean, the Glee's got some stringent entrance.
That was part of your ride. I'll do the gig, but I need to fucking sleep rough, right? If I'm going to do this,
we'll give you a bottle of white lightning, a park, and but I slept rough just because that's what you had to do. If I couldn't afford a hotel, but I knew if I wanted to be booked, because I used to be so jealous of everyone. Like, you'd see the other comics going off to hotels, going, "Oh, right, no, I paid for and stuff," and you'd be like, "Oh, that's what I want." And then I did the Glee because I slept rough. Like, I did the Glee and slept rough. Went home the next day and emailed them immediately, going, "Oh, that's what I want to do." And eventually, like, I started getting more work, and I was getting more money doing that than I was doing my supermarket job, so I could leave.
Damn, man, that's good. But that's it though. That level of like you fucking slept there rough is just way above anything that's in my brain.
That's the thing. Like if you want to do it, you got to want to do it. But there's a lot of that's the difference with comedy now, because it's a career, and where before it was like I never watched comedy before I got into stand up comedy. Obviously I'd seen some and I enjoyed it, but I was never a massive stand up comedy fan. I got into comedy because I could do it. Like, because I'll just drop a name. But
do it.
Because I've been going that long, I know a lot of like quite big comics who are huge now. I've gigged stupid.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I did a pub gig in Coventry with Michael McIntyre. I mean, I did this was the bill at the Brewery Arts Centre in Kendal. It was Justin Moorhouse opened, Russell Howard was on in the middle, and John Oliver closed.
They are like 4 people we've absolutely rinsed on previous
podcasts. Pretty much.
Like big comics, you know? Like, I mean, John Oliver doesn't get bigger than that. You know what I mean? He's got his own chat show in America, you know?
Well, that's it. I mean, you can diss the big ones. I mean, that's fine. We've dissed a lot of comics.
Yeah, we'll diss anyone.
What do you think of...
Tune in next week, Matthew.
The most recent was... who did we talk about last week? Well... This might be controversial because I don't think you'll like who we like them. We talked about this. Like, I'll fucking end the sentence in a minute. We
hopefully
we talked about our best and worst last week and the week before. So last week I think we talked about our best, and it was we both loved them as a kid. It was Lee Evans. What do you think of Lee Evans?
I've clang. I've met Lee Evans quite a few times, and
yeah. Oh my god.
He's it was just I was working at the Glee, funny enough, and he does the warm ups for his arena tours as a secret guest there, and
nice.
I got introduced to him, and he does the middle. He doesn't close it. He does the middle. Then someone's got to follow him.
Oh.
He doesn't just do 20 minutes. He did an hour and 10 minutes both times. And then someone else has got to come in. Hello.
It's like, I was going to come on, but I've chosen not to.
Yeah, but it was, I mean, and...
Is he a nice bloke?
He's genuinely one of the nicest people I've met in comedy. He's lovely. He's really nice.
I always thought he would be and kind of hoped he would be. But you never know, do you?
Yeah, he's a delight. He's a really nice man. I absolutely love that man. I mean, and to be honest, like, watching his DVDs when I was a kid, I used to chuckle and go, it was all right. But I never really thought, whoa, this is the best thing I've ever seen. But...
Heretic, yeah.
But it's because if you take away his performance, his material, I mean, I'm sure he'd say so, his material, it doesn't stand up without his performance. Yeah. And then I when he was at the Glee, which was... it was Cardiff Glee, I think it was, the first time, and I just thought, you know what, I've never seen him live. I'll go around and watch, and this sounds ridiculous, but it was like witchcraft. He had the crowd in the middle of his hand from the start to the finish, and it was I was pissing myself at jokes I would not have laughed at if anyone else had done. He was his charisma just is like an explosion. It's like in films, right, like Lord of the Rings, where they destroy the ring and everyone falls over around. Yeah. It's like that, but with laughter. It's absolutely stunning. He's just...
That's what I was like the first time I saw him. I was a
I thought you were going to say that's for my first gig. I was like, all right, yeah.
Well, Let's see, sometimes you just see something in someone. I saw the very first thing he did on Channel 4, late night open mic program. I can't remember what it was called. It was a little 5 minutes on Channel 4. Obviously, he'd probably done it on live before that, but the first time on telly. And he did the old mic lead routine when he's pulling himself.
It's classic slapstick, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'd sat there. I thought, God, I was really young then. I'm 38 now, and must have been watching that as a kid. And even as a kid, like, I'd just seen loads of comics get up and go, yeah, my wife. And then he did that, and I was like, that he's got something, there's something there. And then obviously he went on to be massive, and I always liked him. I don't like him so much now. We talked about this last week. I think it doesn't age well as material, and once you get a bit older, the jumping around stuff
is so much doesn't age well, though. I mean, there's so much. I mean, obviously there's the old 70s club routines, which are
big fan of Manning.
Not all right anymore. Which, let's be honest, most of them weren't all right then. But comedies are very in the moment thing. Like, I love Ross Noble. I think Ross Noble's one of the best comics. He's a superb improviser, right? But his DVDs lose so much of his live performance. His live performance is like That's why I want to be like. That's why I comment a lot. That's why I make stuff up on the spot a lot, because I hate the fact that I might sound robotic and like burr, 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 and I love the fact that I'm never going to meet Dave the plumber whose hobby was javelin throwing again. So that gig's never going to happen again. That's the only time that gig could happen. And that's what I love about comedy.
Yeah, I'll tell you who's a lot like him as well. Bill Bailey, again, gets lost live. Yeah. He's very good. And Ross Noble, I do love Ross Noble as well. In fact, Ross Noble, when I used to do Comedia down in Brighton, doing shows with him, not with him, but I was lower on the bill. A lot lower. I was in. But yeah, he's good.
I love a comedian.
Were you going to go into somebody that you don't like? I thought that's what you were going to lead into there.
Well, I was thinking about who did we say we didn't like?
I said Victoria Wood.
Yeah, I know, and then I told you she was dead. I mean, you have dropped a clanger again. That's twice you've done that, Kel. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I don't like Bernard Manning, but he's dead, you know what I mean?
Well, Bernard Manning was, I guess Bernard Manning, a bit, he's in the, he was what he was. He he had a social club and did social club humor.
I know, but like, I mean, but this, like, what's his face? I mean, you've got Chubby Brown and that, obviously, which is like the go-to, like, big racist comic, but he's a very good joke writer and he's a very good performer. It's just, he decided to go down that path and not change as well. He's decided not to change because he's like, no. Like, he could easily do a an unbigoted set, but he's like, no, I'm going to stick with bigotry. It's been working for us.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck you then.
Well, that's it. But then would you, if you're Chubby Brown, do you change after 30 years? Like,
I mean, he must have savings. Why'd you bother? He's recovered from cancer, for fuck's sake. Take a bit of time, mate. Just chill out,
But then again, he was the mayor in League of Gentlemen, so he's got loads of cred with me.
Yeah, I suppose.
Chubby Brown, though, is another one who, like, when you're 12, it's the funniest fucking shit you've ever seen.
Yeah, I must admit, like, I used to watch it when I was a kid, not like laugh away, not understanding a lot of the reasons I was laughing, but some of it was like, I mean, I remember the song he sung about AIDS, which I thought was hilarious, and I watched it not so long back, and I was like, fucking hell. Oh, no. That is so out of order.
Well, that's the same with, I did exactly the same with Eddie Murphy's Raw. Loved it as a kid, got older, and I was like, oh my God, this is close to
it's not
hate crime.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, in terms of them, there's no one I really, really dislike. I mean, I don't really dislike Victoria Wood, Kel. I mean, that's highly offensive, like, but
each to their own.
Oh no, there was people I dislike. I didn't like. I'm not going to say it because you've already said his name, and if I tag you in it and you know him, then he might see it. But I'm not saying his name. But he was on last week. Listen to last week if you want to know who I dislike. Mark Watson, I don't like.
Well, there's various people with issues with him, but I.
Oh fucking hell! I thought you were going to say him as well, and then I think I was going to have to bleep that out then.
I do.
Oh fucking hell!
It don't matter. Don't matter.
Yeah,
it's not my opinion, is it?
Exactly. It's just. But listen, I know we're pressed for time right now. We really are. But I want you to tell us, Matt, about, because I was reading up on your thing and watching your videos, and and you looking at you saying about getting the views and stuff, and you were talking about is it the story about getting stalked? Have you got time to even quickly tell us?
Yeah, well, I got horrendously catfished like an idiot. because I was in a bad state of mind, yes, and that lasted 2 years before I finally gave my head a wobble, and then worked out that it wasn't, and then stubbornly attempted to counter stalk so I could find out who it was and catch him with a smoking gun. Sadly, I am not Batman, and that took another 2 years. So, so that was 4 years of my life wasted on this horrendous person.
Wait a minute, you had to counter stalk?
Yeah, I had to counter stalk.
Don't the professionals just call that stalking?
No, well, more or less, 6 of one, half a dozen the other, you know. But
so what was it like a catfish? Was it like someone using different pictures?
Yeah, 100%. Aye.
Was it?
Oh, it got absolutely horrendously creepy. Giving us details about where I was when she shouldn't had no right knowing. Like when I was in a festival, she told us which tent I was in and all that. It got really weird. In fact, well, don't know if you know this, but the show is up online. It's on the Hot Water On Demand streaming service. Do check it out.
Kel, write that down because I'll tag all of these in. All of these people have horrifically dissed.
I've been tagging a few people. What was that last one? Sorry.
Hot water comedy.
Hot water comedy. Yeah.
So she right, all right. So it's you've just done a little teaser. You little
clever girl.
Cut that out. Cut it out.
Yeah, no, get it done, everyone. If you're listening, go to Hot Water Comedy and watch it because I'd be interested in that. I think I possibly have catfished some women because a couple of me Tinder dates have turned up and have.
Who are you?
No, they've clearly seen me and went.
I was going to say, in your defence, I'd used a different photo.
And well, no, listen. All my Tinder photos are photos of me, but they're very flattering photos of me. Almost all of them are a decade old. So when she turned up, she probably went, "Oh yeah, right. I see what it's like." David Brent. It's that.
Where's your son?
That's why your Tinder photos in sepia.
And I'm not smiling, and I'm with the whole family. Yeah, so I'm not having much luck on that myself. But I'd be interested in that. I'll buy that.
Right, that's smashing. All right, lads. Well, thanks very much for having us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for coming on, man. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Take care now.
Bye. Anyway, you sent me that list of people. It is a mile long.
Yes, it is.
But that's all for now, ladies and gents. That
is all she wrote.
Keep listening, and honestly, I'm not bothered if you're not sharing on that, but please do it if you've listened and you've spent an hour. Share it on YouTube as well, because that's where I'm mainly doing it. It's on my channel. But share it on Facebook. Just share it any way you want. Like I say, it takes a lot of editing. That's the only reason I'm asking. I don't care if you like it or don't like it or listen or don't listen. It's just for the amount of editing I do, I want at least like one share.
Yeah, please, one share.
That'll do. All right, well, we'll catch you in a bit anyway.
Good night.
Bye-bye.